Car theft in Victoria is up more than 40%, and it's not just Victoria.
Here are 3 simple ways you can reduce the chances of your car getting stolen.
Hey guys, I'm Molly.
And I'm Dan, and welcome to the Mad Garage.
In this series, we're going to arm you with a bit more car knowledge.
And who knows, next time your car needs some care and attention, we could even save you some cash.
This is Madvice. Did you know nearly 30,000 cars were stolen just in Victoria last year? That's the highest rate since 2002.
I did not. That is mad, and not in the fun way.
Not in the
what
fun
I
way.
do know is that it's not just the older cars, the ones you'd expect to be stolen because they're easy. It's actually a lot of new stuff as well.
Why's that?
Well, because the technology that is making these cars difficult to steal is available, and people are finding ways to get around it technologically as well.
So, what can you do? And the first one that we're going to go through today is the most simple as well, and it's just a deterrent, a steering wheel lock. We picked this one up at Supercheap Auto. There's a heap available, super simple, and essentially, in many cases, it just puts your car in the too hard basket for an opportunistic thief by the time they have to go and try and remove this. That's more risk for them being exposed. So a lot of the time, it just makes your car less desirable as a target with this simple one on.
Yeah, I was actually chatting to our team at local Supercheap the other day, and they said that they have sold out for the time being of steering locks. So that just shows how big a problem it is, and as Molly says, a very simple way. Now, obviously, there's ways around a steering lock, but also, as Molly says, it's about buying yourself some time. If car thieves look at your car, they'll think, I'll move on to the next one that doesn't have a steering lock. So that's a nice, simple approach. Speaking of simple, I like simple things.
You like simple things?
What about another simple, very low cost option?
Tell me more.
Something as simple as just a little 12-volt switch.
Now, to me, that looks complicated because it's electrics, and auto electrics is where you lose me.
Okay,
so how simple is this to use?
This option does require a little bit of technical now, so you do need to know what you're doing. You can also get your local garage to help you with this. It's a relatively simple job. All it involves is putting a switch in the way, in a circuit of something that will stop the car starting. So something like a fuel pump or the ignition system. And the most important thing about this is put it somewhere, obviously only you know where it is. So
not next to the key barrel.
No, exactly. And don't do a YouTube video saying, I put this switch in underneath the driver's seat or behind the dashboard. Put it somewhere where only you know, and it's a simple process of flicking the switch every time you leave the car. And what it'll do is it'll either stop the injectors working or stop the fuel pump running or something similar. And the car thief, if they've managed to get around the ignition system, will think your car's just not starting. Because
And not somewhere where it's obvious that if someone is observing you for a day or two, they watch you walk to a specific point and switch it on.
Exactly.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of switches, I've got one that's a bit more bulky and complicated. We actually use this, it's quite common in race cars, and I mean, for a modern car, it's probably not a feasible alternative, but this is a master battery isolator from Hella. We use it in the rally car. It's heavy duty, cuts off all the power, but if you had a project car or a track car or something like that, similar thing, you can, once you disconnect that, all the power is disconnected from the car unless you have that key to turn it back on.
You always have to go overkill, don't you? Overkill, it's called a kill switch. I mean, the advantage with something like this is it kills all power to the car, which has added bonuses like if you're leaving the car for a length of time, your battery won't go flat. But it's, in some cases, probably not very practical.
No, if you've got a modern car, you've still got all your warranties and servicing, you're selling it on.
And if you cut the battery to a modern car, normally it'll bring up fault codes.
But if you've got an old track car or project car or something, there you go.
So far, relatively simple, low-tech solutions.
Yes, I've got a high-tech solution.
Yes, please, tell me all.
So GPS tracker, obviously this isn't going to prevent them from stealing the car in the first place, but could help your chances of recovering that vehicle, especially with the crime rate is so high. A lot of the time it really is hard, for the police to be able to find where these cars goes, and you hear stories about opportunistic thieves parking a car in a car park or somewhere for a few days just to see if anyone comes looking for it, to know if they've got a tracker. Again, like the switch, you want to install this somewhere that's not obvious because they're going to look for GPS trackers if they're savvy thieves, but can buy you a bit of time. This one, again, we picked up from Supercheap Auto. You've got a SIM card included. It comes with an app, tracking history, all that stuff. So especially if you've got a really high value car, a really desirable or rare car, it's a very worthwhile insurance policy.
Absolutely. We'll link to all of these products available at Supercheap, just in case you're interested in going and getting one for yourself. This kind of technology used to be hyper expensive because it uses GPS networks. Now, of course, you've got it in smart devices. It's way more affordable.
I think this one was like, it's 200 and something bucks.
Yeah, so relatively.
So yeah, it's a pretty cheap insurance.
There's a little bit of involvement in installing it. Once again, the key thing with these two is secrecy. You don't want to know, you don't want to let people know where it is. Whereas this one, you want people to know exactly that that's there. Yeah. This is a really great bit of kit, as you say, for high value vehicles. What else have we got to talk about, Molly? Those are 3 solutions.
Yeah, I mean, I think it starts with the simple ones. As you say, like deterrent is going to be your first line of defence. If you can, not parking on the street. You're a big advocate of not leaving the keys by the door. A lot of the time, those technology systems don't need the key, but some of them do. Or if you can just somehow get your hands on a key as well. Those ones are just sort of general check boxes to tick as a matter of practice. Still
one of the highest rates of car thefts. The way it happens is with the actual original key, whether that be the key used day to day, or what a lot of people do is they leave the valet key or the emergency key in the glove box. That's still a way that cars get stolen. They break the window, they find the key in the glove box.
I feel like my
away
mum's
you go.
done that in the past.
People hanging keys too close to the front door. You've heard of countless accounts where people go through the letterbox with a coat hanger or similar. They just even reach through. Make sure that key is not easily accessible, because that is one of the easiest ways for a car thief to get hold of your car. And the beauty of doing it that way is it doesn't really raise any attention. You don't have to break a window, you don't have to break anything at all. So
another one I just thought of.
Go on.
I mean, it's a bit more annoying.
Huge explosive device underneath the driver's seat that goes boom when you drive away. That's not what you're thinking?
That could be illegal.
Okay.
That could definitely be illegal. And I mean, if you're driving the car every day, this is probably not a practical solution, but if you've got a car that's for a weekend, disconnecting the battery could be a thing.
Yeah.
Then it's just another thing for someone to have to diagnose and sort. Takes time. Are they seen by someone? A few little tricky ways.
The key message here is most car thieves are opportunists. They're just doing it because it's a very easy thing to do. The harder you can make it for them, either by making them too easily noticed or by taking too much time to do it, the greater the chances that they'll just move on to the next target. So those are 3 options, plus the bonus one of just being careful. The best thing is do all of them. If you had a car with a tracker in it, with a hidden switch and a steering wheel lock, I don't think any car thief is really going to waste time if they knew all those measures were in there. Yeah. So,
if you've got any interesting tricks as well, we'd love to hear what they are. Again, we'll link to all of these in the notes below, so you can check them out.
Yeah, that's right. Now, my car's probably been stolen because all of these things aren't in it right now. I took this out of my... That's right.
Dan thinks he's got a really desirable car.
It is.
And no one will tell him.
How dare you? I am, of course, talking about the Brumby. No. It is, how dare you? It's a very wonderful car.
Dan has a BMW E36 that in lockdown he supercharged.
Yes.
So the chances of it having a fuel leak and blowing up are probably higher than someone stealing it.
Yeah, the chances of it being stolen are minimal because it probably just won't drive away. Anyway, comments in below. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe. You know all the things to do. Even hit the bell icon if you're feeling really generous. And then the next time a Mad Vice goes live, you'll know all about it.